There's bats a-flying, ghouls a-haunting, and the cold chill of Halloween rife in the air. Unless you live in Texas, in which case, all your pumpkins are now melted. We've got a great lineup of spooky stories for you with plenty of tricks and treats. So, grab your goodie bags and let's get a howl. This is TRKTRT Radio.
Honey, where are you? Honey, you're going to be okay, all right? My wife's voice echoed from the hallway, sweet and soft as silk. But from the security camera app, I could see the voice came out from the bloody muzzle of our dog.
Right there in the corner of the room, I saw the visage of a disgustingly grotesque creature. My panic subsided when I realized it was just a weird statue. Whenever I break into a new house, my nerves are always jittery.
I always get these threatening phone calls and see peculiar shadows whenever I am alone in my house. The worst part is, I think one of the shadows hid my schizophrenia meds.
The hordes of vile undead and beastly creatures cheered in otherworldly exultation. Team Vlad was winning 2 points over Team Nosferatu in a thrilling game of casket ball.
Everyone started laughing when the small banded snake sunk its tiny teeth into the back of my hand. They thought it was cute, but stopped laughing when one of my friends yelped out, "Was it red to black or red to yellow?"
The hideous vampire bat smacked me in the face with its large leathery wing and hissed at me. Annoyed, I pushed it away while hissing right back at it. Sleeping upside down in this cave is going to take some getting used to.
The extravagantly dressed cultists began to lose themselves in their monotonous and repetitive chanting to awaken the slumbering Ancient One. To their shock, the Ancient One replied in perfect English, "Can you guys please shut up, like, dude, the stars aren't even right yet."
indestructible. He rules both land and sea.
A prehistoric monster has just walked out of Tokyo Bay.
The most powerful creature ever to walk the face of the earth. Godzilla, king of the monsters. Marvel at the sight of this towering prehistoric monstrosity. Reawaken in a time of technological arrogance. Empowered by man's careless use of atomic weapons. Only Mother Nature could create a force so terrible. Striking without warning, destroying everything in his wake. Will he be stopped? Or will Tokyo crumble before the might of Godzilla, king of the monsters?
It was late one night in the castle of the Chicken McNuggets.
What are you making?
Sauce. We're using my mummy's recipe.
Mummy,
This better be good.
It'll be great.
Does your daddy have a recipe?
Now you can get McDonald's Happy Meal pails for
Halloween!
There's a pumpkin pail, a witch, and a ghost that glows in the dark. You can get a different one each week until
Halloween!
This Halloween, Blockbuster Video has a special treat for your whole family. You can take home any of these great Halloween classics for just $7.99. Or rent 2 movies and get them for $3.99. Now, if that's not a reason to scream, what is? Make it a Blockbuster fright.
Geez, Louise. Those sure were some creepy commercials. Blockbuster's advertising from the grave. Speaking of the grave, you may want to plan a different route if you were hoping on driving on 59. Seems like a bad case of road rage turned deadly as a car slammed into a toxic waste truck, causing all sorts of gross radioactive stuff to spill all over the freeway, turning motorists from bloodthirsty Houstonians to bloodthirsty zombies. I guess it's not much of a change. This is TRKTRT radio.
I hate being so forgetful. I've lost my keys. I've lost my favorite pair of shoes. I even lost a cool ring that I found last week. I truly hate being so forgetful. I really need to remember where I left that darn body. The call is coming from inside the house. Then we hung up the phone and started giggling to ourselves. From inside the walls, we could hear her really freak out, which made us laugh even harder.
A gargantuan creature emerged from the deep abyss of the Pacific and destroyed city after city with little remorse. On one occasion, the last survivor of a demolished metropolis came out screaming, "Why? Why would you do this?" To which the monster replied in a booming voice, "Why not?"
We spent hours carving out the faces and getting them just right for Halloween. I know it's tradition, but I really hope next year I can convince my parents to use pumpkins, since pumpkin juice is easier to clean than blood.
You're going to go through some changes and notice some things happen to your body that you may not understand. That's what my father told me that night when he put me in these chains as tears welled up in his eyes, and the full moon began to creep from behind the black clouds.
"Are you scared of the dark?" hissed a whispery voice, and then every single light shut off. Every single light shut off.
Perfect!
Greetings, guys and ghouls. Hope you're enjoying the music and creepy tales. Here's a thought. Wouldn't it be crazy if I were just a disembodied voice speaking to you through some sort of technomancer-type sorcery? And there was some eldritch being controlling this whole racket from another wild and wacky dimension from beyond this plane of existence? Maybe I've eaten too much candy? This is TRKTRT Radio.
It took several years of dedication and experimentation to finally get to this point, and we were all sure this would change the world. All the researchers applauded when the final test came back as a positive, signifying that we had finally made it contagious.
The room was nice, but what's with all the weird portraits strung up in room 106? The guest asked me as he was checking out. I looked at him somberly before replying to him. There are no portraits in room 106, only mirrors.
Over 600 days had passed since the plague of undeath spread across the planet, and I had thought I was the last survivor amongst all the infected. When I met Susie, another survivor, I was so happy until I realized she wasn't real. And hallucinations are the first symptom.
If you know, then you know. And it knows you know. So it can get you. Don't worry though, because it can only get you. If you know, you know.
I heard screams echo all around me. That sort of thing is normal when you work in an intensive care psych ward. But what's not normal is that some of the screams don't sound entirely human.
I hadn't heard from my mother in so long, and I missed her terribly. When I heard her voice come through the phone receiver, tears came streaming down my cheek, and I nearly forgot she'd been dead for 10 years.
Sarah confided in me that her parents were abusing her, so I accidentally dropped my notebook in front of her while letting slip how to use it. They both soon dropped dead of heart attacks, and no one suspected a thing.
Get out there. Wait Intimidator. Will it intimidate you? It's the game that talks back.
We're in for a scare. Excellent! And you called me a dummy. Gotcha. You'll never get us all.
The Goosebumps Intimidator. Is it really just a game?
What went we out into this wilderness to find? The kingdom of God. Let us pray.
We've cursed this family.
Who's there?
Oh God, my Lord, I now begin. Now help me and I'll leave my sin. For I repentant now shall be. From evil I will turn to thee.
Let's leave the Lord.
Man, that last commercial was for a movie about a witch, but I can't remember the name of it. Was it? No, maybe, no, nope. Can't think of it. Regardless, I'm super excited to see it when it comes out, or did it come out? I can't remember if I'm in the past, or in the future, or are they the same thing? Time passes differently here at the station. It's a little like Houston weather, unpredictable and unreliable. This is TRKTRT Radio.
He called each of us by name and had been banging on the outside of the walls for the last 3 hours, begging us to let him in since the whiteout was getting heavier. Everyone on the team was inside, accounted for, and we were in some desolate Antarctic research station, miles from civilization, so whatever was outside was not one of us.
Don't worry about anything. I'll take care of you, the doctor said to his patient, who had been involved in a terrible car accident resulting in the death of a young woman, and landed the patient in the ER. The doctor made sure no one else was too near before he leaned in closer to the patient. By the way, the woman you hit was my daughter.
My grandmother had once told me a story of when she was still living in Berlin in the 80s and had helped a blind, frail old man back to his home. The old man was so appreciative of her help that he slipped her a few small gold bars. She noticed that each one of them had an embossed eagle, holding a curious symbol in its talons.
We've got horrific tastes, from creepy clowns to spine-tingling monsters. Spirit has the scariest collection of costumes, accessories, and everything you can imagine for Halloween. Visit SpiritHalloween.com to find a store near you.
This is TRKTRT Radio. Here's a neat little fact for the season and goes well with the last commercial. On Mischief Night, the night before Halloween, if you visit 3 Spirit Halloween stores consecutively, then something interesting will happen at the 3rd store you visit. In the back, behind all the makeup and accessories, a mysterious green door will appear. Now, if you buy something at all 3 stores and keep the receipt, nothing will happen. If you don't buy something at every store or lose the receipt, proving that you did buy something at each store, I would suggest not trying to find the green door, because it will find you. At least that's what I read online. Thanks for listening, guys and ghouls.
He slipped an arm around her and wryly said, "It's not safe for a pretty girl to be alone at this time of night, you know." Looking back up at him, her mouth opened unnaturally wide until her bottom jaw split apart like a serpent's. A cacophony of voices gurgled out from her maw. "We are never alone."
Wow, these statues are really lifelike, the realtor said as he surveyed the empty property housing the 3 statues. A week later, a different realtor came by to that same property after learning about the mysterious disappearance of the previous one. And, after looking around, also commented on how realistic the statues were. All 4 of them.
She looked out the window with empty eyes. Seeing my mother like this after the Alzheimer's had really taken its toll always broke my heart, but it also reminded me of a story she'd told me. She said that her mother dabbled in the occult when something went bad, and she'd ended up cursing every woman in her family, dooming them to lose their family, lose their love, and lose every shred of joy in her life.
This Halloween, M&M's will send $1 million to one lucky person's home.
I don't think he likes me.
Enter for a chance to win.
Its origin, alien. Location, Antarctica. Age, unknown. Intent, survival. Destination, man. John Carpenter's The Thing, the ultimate in alien terror. Rated R. Starts Friday at a theater near you. Check newspapers for local listings.
Frantically, the young girl picked up the phone, and the voice on the other end tried to reassure her that the police were on their way and to remain calm. Hiding in the closet from the intruders, the young girl began to relax until the voice on the line said, "But for now, don't come out of the closet, okay?"
We drifted down from the stars so long ago, and have been with you for so long that you don't even notice us. Even if you did, and you won't. We have so many of us in the right places that can make you look like another right-wing conspiracy kook.
Really, you need to go. It's my time of the month. She tried to convince her boyfriend that she needed to be alone tonight, but he wouldn't listen. And the full moon would soon be out.
As an exorcist for the church, I find that popular media's depiction of devils to be very simplistic in its scope. Yes, a devil can sometimes create the illusion that it is this horrific monster, but often they tend to hide in liquor bottles, squeeze themselves into pills, or wait in the shadows of each day's common cruelties.
I think a few of them could die. Spice up the story a little if some characters met a nice, well-deserved end. That's what I thought when I first started this whole project, my autobiography.
And that wraps up our Haunted Halloween broadcast here on TRKTRT Radio. Thanks for spending this spooky night with us, sharing in the shivers and thrills. From bone-chilling tales, side-splitting spooks, and eerie tunes, we've kept the night alive together. Remember, keep both eyes out for anything that goes bump as you drift off. You never know what spirits linger once the clock strikes midnight. I've been your ghostly guide. I'm signing off and leaving the shadows to you until we meet again. Sweet screams and happy haunting. Good night, brave souls.